some of the basic things. So I'm starting that recording of this session. Just hold on. Okay, so we can continue. Data encryption is an important algorithm in your second unit, right? So what do you mean by that? This is I think some. Okay, so what is the data encryption standard? So it is nothing but it comes under that block cipher model. So what do you mean by the block cipher model? So we have two types. We have seen in that first unit itself. We have two types. One is stream cipher and another one is block cipher model. Clear? Okay. So what do you mean by that block cipher? So instead of taking a single input, I mean single letter to encrypt, we can create or we can take some of the letters as a block. I mean some of the letters, more than one letter, we can take it as a block. Okay. So that is known as block cipher model. Hold on, please.
சார் நீங்க மியூட் பண்ணிட்டு பேசிட்டு இருக்கீங்க சார்.
Sorry. So okay, so that data encryption standard comes under some two categories. One is block cipher and another one is symmetric key block cipher. Okay, so block cipher is nothing but I can take an input instead of a single word. I can take an input into a block. That block may contain more than one letter or one data, right? So that is known as block cipher. And what about that symmetric key? Symmetric key is nothing but the same key will be used for both the encryption and decryption. That is known as symmetric key. Clear? So what is the second one? This is an implementation of Feistel cipher. So Feistel cipher is a structure which is using for encryption and decryption. It is somewhat a new structure, right? So in our fourth unit, we can see briefly about that. We can see more about that Feistel cipher, right? And it has 16 rounds. Before entering into the disk, we have some of the basic things to note, right? So first one is symmetric is this is a block cipher. Second one is this is a symmetric cipher, and the third one is it has a Feistel cipher structure. Okay, so these are the three things. And the fourth one is it has 16 rounds of encryption. It has some 16 rounds. Okay, so we'll explain with an diagram. Okay, so we have 16 rounds and the block size will be 64 bits. The will be 64 bits. It has 64 bits plain text and also 64 bits key for encryption. The key will be a a 64-bit, and also the blocks, I mean, the plain text will be a 64-bit. Clear? Okay. So what about the next thing? It has some 64-bit. This has an effective key length of 56 bits. Okay. So at the time of output, we can how to say, we can compile that as a 56 bits from the 64 bit. Right. So how we are going to do this thing? So this is the general structure of this encryption algorithm. As I told in the previous slide, it has some 16 rounds. Okay. So we'll explain each round one by one. Okay. Sorry. So what happens in round 1 up to round 16, we'll see. Okay. So what are the things? This is a plain text and this is a key. Here, the plain text size will be a 64 bit and that key size will also be a 64 bits. Clear? So what are the important functions taken place in the disk is, first one is initial permutation. This is the first process. Initial permutation, and the second one is substitution, and the third one is inverse initial permutation. Okay. So we will do all here. Okay. So what are the functions taken place in the disk is, first one is initial permutation. Initial permutation is the first thing, and the S box, that is substitution box, will be taken in the second one. At last, we have inverse initial permutation. So what is the purpose of initial permutation is, we have 64 bits of output, I mean input. We have 64 bits of input. Okay. So that 64 bits will be arranged in the form of 8 cross 8 matrix. Note it down. Arranged in the form of 8 cross 8 matrix. Okay. So this input in that initial permutation. Okay. So we have an input here, right? So we will give some input to that disk. Okay. The input will be in the form of this 8 cross 8 matrix. That 64 bits will be arranged in the form of 8 cross 8 matrix. At the end of initial permutation, the same data will be rearranged. Okay. So this is an example for the rearrangement. Okay. So this is an example for that rearrangement. Wait a minute. I'll make it as slideshow. Okay. So yes. So we can arrange it into that after initial permutation, the data will be rearranged into rearranged. Okay. For example, M1 is here. In that after after initial permutation, the M1 shifted to this place. Okay. So this is not a fixed one. That rearrangement will occur in a different manners. Okay. So this is not a final one. That is, for example, if M1 is in the first place, after initial permutation, the M1 will be in any of the places. Okay. So in this example, that M1 is placed here. Like that, M2 is placed here. M3 is placed here. We can rearrange after initial permutation. The data, the 8 cross 8 matrix data will be rearranged. Okay. So this is the purpose of initial permutation. Clear? Okay. So after this initial permutation, I have the same 64 bit length of data. Clear? Just note it down. Here, the bit size is a very important one in this diagram and also in this question. Okay. So if you mark something wrong, means your total question will be wrong. Okay. The size of the plain text is 64 bit. The size of the key will be the 64 bit. That initial permutation happens. After that also, I have retrieved the same 64 bit length of data. Clear? Okay. Now it enters into that round 1. From that round 1, the given data will be performed with that key, which was already given. Okay, which was already given by us. Okay, so from that, in that round 1 only, the plain text will be performed with that given key. Okay, so we can explain the particular round in our next diagram. Okay, it's somewhat a brief one. Here, the permuted choice happened. I mean, in the key also, the permuted choice happened. So after permutation, the 64-bit length of key is converted into 56-bit key length. Okay. How it's converted means, yes, the input is a 64-bit, but the output from the permuted choice one is a 56 bits. How the 64 is converted into 56? The concept is deleting every eighth element of the data. Okay. So for example, we have 1 to 64 numbers. I can delete every eighth element of that particular one. So okay. So every eighth element means I can delete 8, 16, 24, and what about that? 32, 32 after that 48, like that. Okay. So I can delete every eighth element. So from that 64 bit, I have deleted 8 elements from there. Okay. So now that 64 bit is converted into 56 bit. Is that clear? Is that clear? Hello? Is that clear, man?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now the 64 bit is converted into 56. So some left circular shift happened from the in that key set. What is left circular shift? Okay. So just imagine that you have 56 bits, you have 56 data. Hello? Some call came. Okay. So we'll continue. Okay. So you just imagine that 56 bit is how to say is placed as a circle. 1 to 56 is placed as a circle. Okay. So I just do the left circular shift for that circle. Left circular shift means that circle will shift one left circular. Okay, one left circular shift. Okay. So now the data will be rearranged. Clear. So after that left circular shift, again the left circular shifted data will perform with that plain text. Clear. This is happened here. Second thing, permutated choice 2. Okay. Yeah, permutated choice 2. Here also 56 bit is converted into a 48 bit. The same process happens here also. Every eighth element from these 56 bits are going to be deleted in permutated choice 2. Now the 56 bit will convert it into 48 bits. Okay, so finally the 64 bit plain text will perform with that 48 bit key. Okay, so after this performance, it will produce some output. This output size will be a same 64. Okay, the above process will will perform again and again till round 16. The same process will perform again and again till round 16. Okay, so after round 16, bit swap will be happened. The 32 bit swap. How to say the same shift. Swap means how to say. So swap means again the rearrangement of the data. Okay, the rearrangement of the data will be happened. Okay, so at last that inverse initial permutation is going to be happened. Okay, so what is inverse initial permutation is once we have seen now. What is that? Once we have seen now in that initial permutation that M1 is rearranged into some other place, right? Of that in that inverse initial permutation, the M1 will replace into its original place. It will come into that original place. That is the purpose of inverse initial permutation. Clear? So this is the overall architecture of this encryption algorithm. Okay. Okay. So we'll see that round 1 in the single round what is going to happen. This is the second diagram. Okay, so we have 16 rounds. In that single round, what is going to be happen? Okay, so we'll see in that this diagram. Okay, single round of this algorithm. Just imagine this is the process. Is this. Hello. Okay, so coming back to this single round, right? So in that single round, just imagine that this is the process is going to be done in that round one. Okay, so what is the process? Now I got 64 bits. I can segregate that 64 bits into two things, 32 bits and 32 bits. Okay, that 64 bits of plain text is segregated into two things. One is 32 bits and another one is 32 bits. I can name it as left and right. Okay, so I can name it as L I1 I minus 1 and R I minus 1. Okay, now just leave that L I minus 1 as it is. Okay, so what happens in R I minus 1? In this R I minus 1, that permutation expansion is going to be happen. What is that expansion is that 32 bit, the given 32 bit is expanded into a 48 bits. How that expansion happen is I can add some more bits in the gaps. Okay, so there will be gaps with that 32 bits. I can add some more bits. How many bits? 16 bits. Okay, so I can add some 16 bits in that gaps. Okay, now that 32 bits is expanded as a 48 bits. Okay, so here is a 48 bits. Clear? And I can perform XOR function here. I can perform XOR function with that key. Okay. So coming back to the key side, in that first diagram itself, we have seen that permutator choice 56 bits, right? Okay. So this 56 bits is along. This 56 bits is again divided into 28 bits and 28 bits, and I can name it as C and DI minus 1. Clear? So I can name it as CI minus 1 and DI minus 1. Okay. So second thing, left shift. Okay. So where this left shift we have seen this left shift. Okay. So this left shift happened in both the CI minus 1 and DI minus 1. Okay. Now the left shift happened. After left shifting with the C and D, these two were compressed or contracted, okay, by using permutation. Okay, so I've seen that permutation. Permutation is nothing but permutator choice 2. Okay, sorry. What is permutator choice 2? That 56 bits is converted into a 48 bit. Clear? So we have seen now permutator choice 2. Permutator choice 2. Okay, so this permutator choice 2 is nothing but here. Okay, so what happened in this? That 56 bit is converted into a 48 bits, again deleting every 8th element. Okay, so what will be the two inputs here? 48 bits of plain text and 48 bits of key. By using these two data, I'm going to perform XOR function. Okay, so XOR function is going to be happened with that 48 bit of plain text and 48 bit of key. Okay, so after doing XOR function, I got an output of 48 bits. Okay, so we got some output, right? So that output will be also in the size of 48 bits. Okay, so now what happened is that 48 bits is again undergone an operation or undergone a function called substitution. Okay, yes, box. Okay, substitution box. We have a substitution box in our disk. In that, from the 48 bits, I mean, the output from the XOR function is become an input for that S box, substitution box. So here from the substitution box, what will be the output is the 32 bits of output. Okay, here the 48 bits is an input for S box, but output is 32 bits. Where the remaining bits will see. Okay, so where the remaining bits will see later. Okay, so just keep it in mind. 48 bits of input is entered into the S box. It produces 30 bits of output. Okay, so now the 32 bits has been released from S box. Okay, so finally I got this 32 bits. Okay, again I am doing some permutation function. Okay, some permutation function. That 32 bits will undergo some permutation function. After that also, after permutation, I got the same size of output, that is 32 bits. Okay, finally, I'm again doing that XOR function from the 32 bits, which came from that Ri minus 1 with that Li minus 1. Okay, so I'm going to do XOR function again between Li minus 1 and this Ri minus 1. Now I got some output, right? So that output will be the Ri. Okay, and this Ri minus 1, this Ri minus 1 will become Li. Okay, the same thing, the same data is going to be performed in that Ri minus 1, but in that initial step itself, I can take that Ri minus 1 as it is. Okay, so and also I'm doing some performance with the same data. Okay, so Ri minus 1, I can duplicate my data. Okay, Ri minus 1 will be duplicated as Li, and Ri minus 1, the same data will be performing these operations and will get that Ri output. Clear? Okay, so and that remaining function, so CA and DA, that remaining will be came out here. Okay, so this will be the input for that round 2. Okay, so as I already told, these all happened in a single round. Okay, after the single round, we got an output, and that output will be the input for that round 2. Okay, so here in this diagram, the input for round 1 is Li minus 1, Ri minus 1. The input for C is Ca minus 1, Da minus 1 in round 1. Okay, so from in round 2, the input will be Li and Ri, and in the key side, Ca and Da are the input for the key function. Okay, so it will be somewhat a confused one. Okay, so just listen this. Okay, so you will get some idea. Okay, so after that we can read out in our notes. It will be more easy to get points. Clear? So this is the function of that round 1. Okay, so we have three diagrams, three important diagrams in our question, in this question. So this is the first diagram. This first diagram is nothing but a general structure of this. Okay, and this is the second one. This second one is nothing but a single round diagram. Okay, and the third diagram will be, we have seen here now, substitution box, how that 48 bits is converted into 32 bits. Okay? So this will be the third diagram, right? So this will be the third diagram, that is S box diagram. Okay. So in this S box, what we have given, the input size is 48 bits. Okay. So what is this 32 bits? Here, this is the 32 bits. So after expansion, it became 48 bits. The same thing, 32 bits, after expansion, it became 48 bits. Also, here, that K48, K is nothing but a key. Okay, so key 48, key in the size of 48 bits. Okay, so we are doing XOR function. We are doing substitution function here. Okay, so here it is, we can do some add function, right? What happened is, inside this S box, we have 8 substitution box here. We have 8 substitution box here. Okay. So S1 to S8, we have 8 substitution boxes. We have 8 S boxes. Okay. So the input will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 inputs. For every S box, I have given some 6 inputs. Okay. But the output will be 4 outputs. It is also very much important. You just want to draw some 6 lines only here, not more than that. Okay. So this is also a notable one during the paper correction, right? So this will be the 6 input bits, and that output will be 4 input. How the 6 input is converted into 4 outputs? How the 6 input is converted into a 4 outputs? Okay. The same thing. The first bit and the sixth bit of every S1 is row-wise bits, row bits. Okay, I can name it as row bits. The first bit and the sixth bit in every S row bit, and the remaining 4 is column bits. Okay, so I can delete that row bit there. I can delete from their row bit. That is first and last bit. I can delete. Okay, so after deletion of these 2 bits, what will be the remainder? That 4 bits. Okay. The same thing happened in 8 S boxes. Okay. So what will be the output? 8 into 6. I mean, what will be the input? 8 into 6. We have given some 6 inputs for single S box. We have totally 8 inputs. I mean 8 S box. So 6 8 are 48. That 48 will be converted into 32. How? That in the single S box, I can get an output as 4. I will get the 4 outputs only because I have deleted the first and last bit because the first and last bits are a row bits. Okay, so I can delete the row bits. Okay, now I got some 4 output from every H box. I have totally 8 H boxes. So 8 into 4, 32 bits. Okay, so now in this method only, the 48 bits input is converted into 32 bits. Like this, the 48 bits is converted into 32 bits. This is an important diagram. Okay. Okay. So this is all about the functions in the disk. Okay. So I think you got clear. Is there any doubt?
No doubt, sir.
Hello? Okay. So it is not possible to understand how it's said. Okay. So your thought will be like it's a somewhat a confused one. Okay. So don't panic. Okay. So we have some 3 diagrams. So briefly telling, we have some 3 diagrams in the disk. First one is general structure, and second one is a round one, single round, and the third one is H box. These 3 diagrams are very much important in the disk encryption algorithm. Okay, so first one is initial permutation. What happened in that initial permutation? That 8 bits will be arranged in the form of 8 cross 8 matrix. So after that initial permutation, the data in that 8 cross 8 matrix is rearranged. Okay. This is one of the examples of that rearrangement. Okay, so this is not a fixed one. So M1 can be in any of the place. This is for your understanding I've given. Okay, so M1 will be in the place of any of the any places. L1 M1 will be in that any place in the say 8 cross 8 matrix. Okay, so this is the purpose of initial permutation. So after initial permutation, that data is entered into that round one. In that round one, what happened? This is the diagram. In that round one, we have explained by this diagram. Okay, so here also the third diagram is substitution box diagram. Okay, just keep it in mind. The size of the bits are very much important. Please understand and please keen into it. Okay, so if you change any of the bit size means your total question will be wrong. Yes, so this is this algorithm. Okay, so this is a encryption, this encryption method. Decryption is not the decryption is just a reverse process of this. Okay, so this process happened not only in the single round, this process is continuous till round 16. Okay, till round 16, the same process is going to be continued. So after round 16, the inverse initial permutation is going to be happened. That inverse initial permutation is, for example, you have this data 8 cross 8 matrix. You have M1. I can take it as M1 data is A. Okay, so I've already told now the given data will be in the format of 8 cross 8 matrix. So here M1 contains A as a data, right? So in our original plain text, M1 data is a A. Okay, that A is replaced into another place after initial permutation. Clear? So after all the process happened in that till that round 16, that A is encrypted into or changed into some other letter. Some other letter in the sense, for example, A is replaced as yes. Okay, for example, A is replaced as yes after all the encryption. Okay, now the yes will be here. Yes will be here. Okay, so at last the initial inverse initial permutation, this M1 data is rearranged into that original position. This M1 data will come back into that original position. Now that A is became yes. Okay, so that yes will be in the place of the same position which was before encryption, which was how to say, which the plain text is in the before encryption. Okay, so this M1 is A is replaced as yes, and also the place also replaced after inverse initial permutation. That M1 data will become into that original page, will come into that original page. This is the inverse initial permutation. Okay, this same thing will happen till round 16. Clear? So this is an explanation about this algorithm. Okay. So where that this it is somewhat a very tough one to break. Okay. So it is an important encryption method. It is a very interesting encryption method for number of services, because it will be more tough to break the encryption, break the text. Okay, so it will be more tough to intruder to get a to how to say to get the original data. Okay, so this will be a more secure one in that encryption method, right? So where that disk applications are using, what are the real-time applications of disk? Okay, so these are some of the real-time applications of this. First one is financial transaction by US governments. Okay, so we also have some financial transactions through online payment, or through Google Pay, or Phone Pay, or net banking, etc. Okay, this algorithm is a basic encryption technique in that transactions. Okay, so electronic fund transaction, like online transactions, net banking, Phone Pay, and Google Pay. So these for these applications, this algorithm is using high speed in ATM. It is used for secure video teleconferencing. For teleconferencing, it is used for that security purpose. Used in routers and remote access servers. It can be used by federal departments and agencies. Federal departments is police departments from that America, and from US and all the other countries. So currently in our India itself, also CBI. So these are some of the security departments, security departments now. So for online, how to say, so for cyber security, they are using this standard. Okay? When they require cryptographic protection for sensitive information, to give a more protection, a lot of experts are providing this standard for that encryption, this method for their encryption. Okay, so these are the some of the this applications here. Okay, I think we have our session is going to the end. Yes. Is there any doubt? Yes.
No doubt,
Is
sir.
there any doubt? No.
No doubt, sir.
Okay. So no issue. We can buy. Hello. Okay. Yes. Have you all entered your attendance?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. We need to download your attendance now. Sorry, I think we have taken some 5 more minutes, right?